Right now, somewhere on earth, someone is opening YouTube. You earn 1 cent. Then another person opens it. In Jakarta, in Ohio, in Sao Paulo, you earn another cent. Then another. Here's the rule. Simple. Almost stupid. Every single time anyone, anywhere watches a video on YouTube, you get paid 1 cent. Not the creator, not YouTube, you. Now here's the part that breaks your brain. Users watch over 1 billion hours of video on YouTube every single day. That's roughly 5 billion videos watched daily. 5 billion. Every day. Forever. So ask yourself, how rich could you actually become? Could you quit your job by next week? Could you become a millionaire by next month? Could you become so rich that money itself stops making sense? Let's find out. It's 9:14 in the morning. You haven't even had coffee yet. $4.18. That's it. That's the first morning. A few hundred people watch something. A cooking video, a football highlight, a toddler unboxing a toy. You check your phone again at lunch. $11.42. Would you even notice this kind of money? Be honest, you wouldn't. It's coffee money. It's found $5 in an old jacket money. But then something strange happens. By 6 p.m., peak viewing hours across 3 continents simultaneously, the number stops crawling and starts running. $340. By midnight, your first day is over. $1,290. One day, $1,300 for doing absolutely nothing except existing while other people press play. Here's where it gets ridiculous. Tomorrow doesn't reset. Tomorrow adds. And here's your first real decision. The first fork in the road. Do you go to work tomorrow? You don't know yet if this is a glitch, a dream, or the new shape of your entire life. So you go. You sit at your desk. You answer emails. And the entire time, but in the background, silently, relentlessly, the counter never stops. By the end of week 1, you've made more than your monthly salary. This is where everything changes. Week 2, you stop going to work. Not because you're rich yet, you're not really, but because sitting at a desk while a parallel fortune builds itself feels insane. By week 3, the number is no longer exciting. It's confusing. $211,000. Do you tell your family? You think about it. You imagine the conversation. Mom, I earn money every time someone on earth watches a video. She'll think you've joined a cult. So you don't tell her. Not yet. Except there's a problem. Money this size doesn't sit quietly in a checking account. Banks have limits. Wire transfers get flagged. YouTube itself generates over $36 billion in ad revenue in a single year. And you're now personally pulling in a fraction of that every single day automatically. Your bank calls you, not your friend at the bank. Compliance. Can you explain the source of these deposits? You can't, not in a way that sounds sane. So you do the only thing that makes sense. You hire a financial advisor just to open an account that won't lock itself. By the end of month 1, $4.3 million. You didn't become rich. You became a problem someone else now has to solve. And the money keeps arriving even while you sleep. While you dream, Brazil wakes up. While Brazil sleeps, India wakes up. There is no time zone on earth where YouTube goes quiet, which means there's no time zone where you stop earning. You have built, completely by accident, a business that never sleeps, never pauses, and never asks your permission. Fast forward, 12 months in, YouTube has over 2.7 billion monthly active users. Daily active users sit around 122 million. The math that once felt like a fun thought experiment now has a real terrifying shape. Your 1 year total, $890 million, almost $1 billion. For a rule you didn't write, a system you don't control, and a switch you can't turn off. But here's where it gets ridiculous. Governments don't ignore numbers like this. The IRS wants to know where this came from. Foreign tax authorities want to cut because some of those billions of views happened in their countries. Lawyers you've never met are suddenly emailing you. Your name shows up on a list somewhere in a building you will never visit. Could people discover your secret? They already have. Not the public, not yet, but the people whose job it is to notice money that doesn't fit any category that exists. You hire a team, not because you want one, because you have no choice. Accountants, lawyers, a security consultant, because apparently when you're worth this much, kidnapping insurance becomes a real product people sell you. You start asking a new question. Not how do I spend this, but how do I survive having it? By month 18, the number isn't a number anymore. It's a force. You stop checking your balance daily. What's the point? It's like checking the tide. You no longer think about buying things. A car is nothing. A house is nothing. You think about owning systems instead. You buy a stake in a media company. Not because you need the money, but because you finally understand something uncomfortable. Every video watched on Earth makes you richer, which means every company that makes videos is now secretly working for you. You buy into streaming platforms, production studios, a small stake in companies that make the phones people watch YouTube on. You're not investing anymore. You're closing the loop. This is where you stop being a rich person and start being something else entirely. 2 years in, net worth somewhere past $4 billion, and climbing by roughly the same amount every single day that it climbed on day one. Except now that daily amount alone would have made you wealthy for life. You own a sports team now, not because you love sports particularly, because someone has explained that broadcast rights generate billions of views, and you realize, quietly, almost embarrassed, that funding the content people watch is now, mathematically, the same thing as funding yourself. You buy a building in 3 different capital cities, not to live in them. You've never even seen 2 of them in person. You buy them because money has to go somewhere, and somewhere has stopped meaning a place. It means a category on a spreadsheet. This is where you stop thinking like a person and start thinking like a weather system. You don't make decisions anymore. You make conditions. You don't choose outcomes. You shape the environment outcomes happen inside of. Economists you've never met start writing about the YouTube effect without knowing your name, without knowing you exist, because the data shows a strange anomaly in global capital flow that nobody can quite explain. You are the anomaly. By year 3, something even stranger happens. The money stops changing your life. You still wake up. You still drink coffee. You still feel bored on a Tuesday afternoon. Money, it turns out, has a ceiling on how much it can change a single human life. You hit that ceiling a long time ago, but the money never stopped growing, which means it had to go somewhere else. It started changing the world around you instead. Could one person with an unlimited, permanent, compounding stream of passive income eventually become one of the most economically significant individuals on the planet? You already have your answer. You are not asking the question anymore. You are the data point other people will ask it about. Could you accidentally influence elections simply by which media companies you own pieces of? Could you accidentally shape what gets made simply by which projects get funded when your capital shows up in the room? You never wanted any of this. You just opened YouTube 1 cent at a time, every day, automatically, while you slept, while you worked, while you forgot the number even existed for hours at a stretch. And here is the part nobody warns you about. Past a certain point, money stops being something you have. It becomes something that has you. You don't own the billions. The billions own a piece of everything, and you are simply the name attached to the account. The system runs whether you pay attention to it or not. It ran while you slept on day one. It will run the same way on the day you die. So here's the final uncomfortable truth. This thought experiment was always building toward. You didn't become rich. You became infrastructure. A permanent, invisible line item in a system far larger than any one person was ever built to hold. And somewhere on Earth, right now, someone is opening YouTube. It never stopped. It never will.